right? This is where we start to bring it all back together and have some thoughts that catalyze us to make some changes to that Tier 1 instruction. So, what does Ms. Nope now know about the impact of Tier 1 instruction on her students? All right, we've had all these conversations. We've looked at these different groups. We've talked about the averages. We've talked about the growth. What does Ms. Nope now know about the impact of Tier 1 instruction on her students? So start having that conversation. Jot some things down. And we'll come back together in a moment.
We just went through our data, and that's the exact conversation that we had. The engagements there, the rigor needs we need to increase the rigor of the questioning what they're exposed to.
Yeah. That's what we kind of get told.
So it's kind of like the rigor that we give them is the rigor they're going to be successful with.
Yes.
Right.
Like they're only going to be as successful as the rigor that we're giving them.
And it doesn't mean it's going to be easy.
No.
Yeah.
No.
But sometimes that productive struggle is where you have a lot of growth.
Yeah. Not letting it and going, "Ah," but asking another question or whatever, you know.
All right, so I'm going to go ahead and give y'all the next question because I hear a couple groups getting there anyways. So part 5 is where the problem solving can kind of really be dived into. That's not a word. And ideas can kind of come out so that we know, hey, here's what we know, here's where we see the impact, but here's what we need to do about it. So the last question is, what ideas might she have? What ideas might you have for improving Tier 1 instruction? So if you want to wrap these two things into one question and just respond in one way, that's okay. But what does she know about the impact of her Tier 1 instruction, and what ideas are there to make some improvements?
So what did you land on for your? You said you feel like you are Miss Nope. So what are you going to do differently, or what have you already started to do differently?
So we're just looking at our questioning and looking at what our resources that we're using.
Okay. Yeah.
And trying to kind of expand, looking at the ALDs to make sure that we're hitting those
those.
form
Yeah.
questions.
Does it feel doable? Like in the
Yes.
time you have left, like
Yes.
it's like, yeah, I can make this change.
Definitely.
Yeah.
And looking at ALDs, right?
Yeah.
I need to revisit the standards too.
And then also looking at the big M with the assessment limitations and making sure that we're not spending time on things that are not going to be assessed and spending that time on things that we know aren't going to be assessed.
Are you doing that as part of a team, or are you doing that on your own?
Yeah,
Okay.
for planning.
Yeah. Yep.